Who gets the house when I die? Hi, I'm Neil Tyra. I'm an estate planning attorney in Rockville, Maryland, and I do estate plans for regular folks like you and me. Now, this is one of the most fundamental questions we get when we're doing estate planning for regular folks, because for regular folks, the house is their single biggest asset that they own, is the one that they're most concerned about. And they're concerned about what happens to it after they pass. So, to start with, it depends on how the house is owned. Do you own it by yourself or do you own it with another person, like with a spouse? Okay. So, if you own it jointly with another person, it could be a spouse. We call that tenants by the entireties. It's a fancy name we give to joint ownership for married couples. When the first spouse passes, their interest automatically goes to the surviving spouse by operation of law. They don't have to do anything. They now own the whole house. So really, the only thing we're talking about is what happens for when the second spouse passes, or if it's only owned by a single individual, what happens when you pass, okay? So that's where the will comes in, or a trust, either one. But we're going to talk about wills here today. In your will, you specify who you want the house to go to, if anybody. Now, a couple things to consider. The mortgage goes along with the house, as does the utilities and other costs associated with maintaining that property. So you need to make sure that whoever is going to inherit the house has enough resources to be able to continue to pay the mortgage and to pay those bills. And if you plan on having your personal representative or executor of your estate sell the house, well, they may not be able to sell it right away. So there needs to be some liquid assets available to them so that they can maintain the mortgage and maintain the property until they're able to sell it. Okay. Now, once they sell it, or if you decide you want to give it to somebody, it's better to give it to a single individual or maybe a married couple, like your married children. It's not a good idea to give it to multiple people, like all six of your children, because that just creates a unmanageable problem. Okay. Um, and if you decide to sell it, you have your personal representative sell it, well, then that money goes into what we call the residual estate. You can divide that up amongst your six children, as an example. So it's very important that you talk to your family about this and let them know exactly what you have in mind so it doesn't come as any surprise, because you're going to find that the home becomes a very sentimental item. And so it can create a lot of angst and anxiety around it. So better to get that out in the open and deal with it. Again, if you are interested in estate planning, our information is at the end of this video. And if you enjoy these videos, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. And again, my name is Neil Tyra. I'm an estate planning attorney in Rockville, Maryland, and I do estate plans for regular folks like you and me.